Hey, it's Kerry. Today I've got some movable dinosaurs. Their arms and legs and often their jaws and their tails move. They're quite bright in colours. I think my favourite is the Caudipteryx. You can see it down the bottom there, the blue one. I'm going to do that one first. Subscribe and give a thumbs up if you like dinosaurs. They're having some fun here, and you can see they're very useful for stop motion. Can you tell me how many wading birds in today's video? Caudipteryx was a feathered theropod dinosaur that lived in the early Cretaceous period, roughly 120 to 136 million years ago. Its name means tail feather, and it has a beautiful tail there. Caudipteryx had an interesting mix of reptile and bird-like features. It had a short square skull with a beak-like snout. Its teeth were long and sharp with deep bulbous roots. These teeth were only in the front of the upper jaw and pointed outwards, giving it a buck-toothed look. Gastroliths were used to help grind up food in its gut. It was most likely an omnivore. Spinosaurus had a long and narrow snout at the end of its skull and a small crest above its eyes. It had 6 or 7 needle-like teeth on each side of the very front of the upper jaw and another 12 teeth behind those. There were also a few large slanted teeth that interlocked at the end of the snout. While its jaw was powerful, none of the teeth were serrated, making it unlikely that it could have been using them to tear into tough prey. It most likely survived on fish and carcasses. Spinosaurus lived during the late Cretaceous period and lived in swampy areas covered in lush forests. Pteranodon was a flying reptile that lived during the time of the dinosaurs during the late Cretaceous period. It was a close relative of the dinosaurs. It had a crest on its head, no teeth at all, and a very short tail. Pteranodons were lightly built with hollow bones and small bodies. They may have had fur. They had large brains and good eyesight. Some pteranodons had long, lightweight bony crests on their heads that may have acted as a rudder or stabilizer when flying. Dimetrodon is an extinct genus of synapsid that lived during the early Permian period. It's often mistaken for a dinosaur, but it went extinct some 40 million years before the first appearance of dinosaurs. Dimetrodon was probably one of the top predators in early Permian ecosystems, feeding on fish and tetrapods, including reptiles as well as amphibians. The most prominent feature of Dimetrodon is the large sail on its back, formed by elongated spines extending from the vertebrae. The terrifying Dilophosaurus lived in the early Jurassic period. Its name means double-crested reptile. It was an aggressive, medium-sized carnivore that feasted on small plant-eating dinosaurs and reptiles. It had strong muscular legs and was fast and agile. Dilophosaurus may have roved in packs to hunt and scavenge. It had sharp teeth and most likely killed with its clawed arms and legs, especially using the dew claw. It was also a scavenger. Triceratops. It needed its 3 horns to try and protect itself from Tyrannosaurus, which lived during the same time period. The frills and horns were probably used for dominance, defense and display, just like modern-day antelopes and deer. Therefore, ceratopsids may have used their horns within their own species over territory and mating rights. Triceratops was a massive animal, comparable in size to an African elephant. When threatened, Triceratops would charge into its enemy like a rhinoceros. It was quite fearsome to look at with its large bony frill, 3 horns and massive size. Brachiosaurus lived during the middle to late Jurassic period. It was one of the tallest and largest dinosaurs. It had a long neck, small head with its nostrils on top of the head, and a short, thick tail. Brachiosaurus lived on land. Most predators like Allosaurus and Ceratosaurus were half its size. Its best defense was size, plus their clawed feet and tail. Brachiosaurus walked on 4 legs. Notice that the front legs were longer than its hind legs. Tyrannosaurus or T-Rex had serrated conical teeth that were most likely used to pierce and grip flesh, which it then ripped away with its brawny neck muscles. Its 2-fingered forearms could probably seize prey, but they were too short to reach its mouth. Tyrannosaurus is probably the most well-known dinosaur due to its huge size, ferocious nature, and regular appearances in popular media. Tyrannosaurus lived in forested river valleys in North America during the late Cretaceous period. Stegosaurus lived in the late Jurassic period. It was a herbivore. There are 17 bony plates on its back and a heavily spiked tail for protection. Stegosaurus had arm-like plates on the skin of the neck, the hips, and possibly on the sides of some species. The largest plates were 2 feet or 60 centimeters tall. Notice that the back legs are longer than the front ones, which sprawled out to the sides. The tail spikes could grow to 4 feet or 1.2 meters long. The front feet had 5 toes with hoof-like tips, and the rear feet had 3 short wide toes with hooves. This is a miniature model of Euoplocephalus. It's a member of the Ankylosaur family. It may have been able to lay down and pull its legs up under the bony plates when under attack. It was a herbivore and had to eat a huge amount of plants that were close to the ground to sustain itself. Saurornithoides lived during the late Cretaceous period. It had closely spaced teeth in the lower jaw and large numbers of teeth. It had sickle-like claws and raptor-like hands. They had advanced intelligence and keen senses. Swift and smart like its North American cousin, Pteranodon, Saurornithoides probably scoured the Gobi Desert looking for small mammals or reptiles to eat. Acrocanthosaurus was a large, fierce predator that could kill even large sauropods. It may have also been a scavenger. It lived during the early Cretaceous period in the tropics of what is now known as North America. It was the largest theropod in North America before the evolution of the tyrannosaurs. There's a fun ending coming up, and remember to tell me how many wading birds you saw in today's video. I really like that purple Stegosaurus. Great colours. And of course Caudipteryx as well. Thank you for watching my video. Please stay right on here at Super Fun Reviews for more great videos. See you again soon. Please subscribe and share my videos on any of the social media sites that you like to visit. Thanks once again. Here's trouble.
Hi, it's Kerry. Today I've got some more interesting dinosaurs with movable arms, legs, head and tail. Great for posing or stop motion like this. They're quite colourful as well. The set includes Iguanodon, Corythosaurus, Pachycephalosaurus, Giganotosaurus, Deinonychus, Suchomimus and accessories. And here's the box. A bit of information on the back there. I've noticed they've spelt the word dinosaur wrong though. That should be D-I-N-O. Iguanodon is a genus of ornithopod plant-eating dinosaurs that lived during the Cretaceous period. It had a hard conical spike on each thumb that could grow to 6 inches or 15 centimeters long. It had 4 fingers. It had a horny toothless beak and cheek teeth and a rather bulky body with a thin skull and long tail. Its tail was flat and stiff. Its legs were much larger than its arms. Its 3-toed hind feet had hoof-like claws. It grew to about 30 feet or 9 meters. It could run on 2 legs or walk on all 4. There's a fun fight at the end today where Suchomimus fights Giganotosaurus. Can you tell me, did Suchomimus mainly eat meat or fish? This is a tree that came with the set. I rather like this. I'll show you what it can do. Give a thumbs up if you like dinosaurs. I'm going to put a big black ant in there. That'll surprise someone else later. Please help me reach 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year by subscribing and sharing my videos with your friends. Thank you. This set is called Dinosaur World Playset by Tedco. I'll write it down in the description as well. Corythosaurus lived during the late Cretaceous period. It was a large, plant-eating, duck-billed dinosaur from the Hadrosauridae family. It was about 30 feet long and 6.5 feet tall at the hips, weighing up to 5 tons. It had a hollow, bony crest on top of its long head in the shape of a helmet, flattened on the sides. The crest resembled the crest of the cassowary and a Corinthian helmet. Corythosaurus nostrils went up through the crest. The crest was most likely used to make sounds or possibly as a calling device, maybe courtship displays, or for an increased sense of smell. Males had larger crests than females and juveniles. Now I think this is meant to be a mini volcano. I'm going to hide some things in it for later. So I've got a centipede and a scorpion there. I love all of the legs. That will be fun to find later. Pachycephalosaurus lived during the late Cretaceous period. It was a herbivorous, dome-headed dinosaur with a skull up to 10 inches thick, a tiny brain and large eyes. It had bumpy knobs on its snout and along the back of its skull. The forelimbs were short and it had a stiff tail. The thick skull bone is quite porous and fragile and was most likely used for head-butting other animals in their side, not to their heads, to avoid injuring themselves. Pachycephalosaurus walked on 2 legs and was not a very fast dinosaur. It ate soft plants, fruit and seeds. Its teeth were small and sharp. Now this is quite interesting. It looks like the entrance to a cave. I've got just the dinosaur to put in there. It looks like it comes apart, but I don't think I'd bother to take it apart. That's going to make a great home for Utahraptor. Giganotosaurus lived during the late Cretaceous period. It was one of the largest meat-eating dinosaurs, growing up to nearly 45 feet long and weighing about 8 tons, and stood 12 feet tall at the hips. It walked on 2 legs and had enormous jaws and a 6-foot-long skull with 8-inch-long serrated teeth. The dagger-like teeth with the serrated edges could slice through flesh like a saw. It had 3-fingered hands with sharp claws, long legs and clawed feet. Its jaws were large enough to swallow an adult human whole. The skull is long and slender, with corrugated areas on the edges of the snout top and above the eye. Deinonychus. The name Deinonychus means terrible claw, referring to the large sickle-shaped hooked claw on the second toe of the hind feet. Deinonychus lived in the early Cretaceous period. It is part of the same family as Velociraptor. Deinonychus reached about 3.4 meters in length, which is 11 feet, and weighed around 73 kilos or 170 pounds in weight. In Jurassic Park and The Lost World, they used Deinonychus but called them by the more popular and dramatic name Velociraptor. Deinonychus had around 60 teeth, and studies suggest that it had about the same bite force as an alligator. Studies of Deinonychus help lead to the widely accepted theory that birds descended from dinosaurs. Suchomimus was a carnivore that lived during the Cretaceous period. It grew to about 40 feet or 12 meters long and weighed around 6 tons. It had tall extensions to its vertebrae that you can see there, which may have held up a fin or sail, much like Spinosaurus but on a much smaller scale. This carnivore had short clawed arms with 3 fingers. Its skull is very much like the skull of a crocodile. The main diet of this dinosaur was fish. It had a long conical snout that contained over 120 teeth to help catch slippery fish. It also had huge claws for holding fish while eating. It may have also eaten carrion or anything else it found in its tracks. Thank you for watching my video. Please stay right on here at Super Fun Reviews for more great videos. See you again soon. Remember to stay for the fun ending. We've got a fight today between Suchomimus and Giganotosaurus, which should be fun. Let's get the action started. subscribe, just click or press the colourful super fun reviews button. To watch any of the videos or playlists, just click or press the one that you like. Thanks again.